So today we are going to do rest and restore yoga. So find as many pillows and comfortable things as you can. Like get a blanket, something to put your head face down on. We use the eye pillow when we do face down, or we actually have the headrest in the studio, but a block with an eye pillow on or something equivalent works too. We're going to do a couple of poses. Really just a very meditative class.
It's okay, I can be for line shape.
It's a very meditative class. So we're going to go into about 3 poses. So no moving or transitions. It's really about getting physically rested and restored.
Can I do this Reiki too? I never get Reiki anymore in this class because I'm usually doing Reiki.
All right, so let's get started. We're going to start face down for this class. So we often put something underneath your stomach for this, just to get a little compression from about the hips to the top of the torso. And then you bring your head down, making space for your face. You can't see because you have lots of hair, but you make space so you can breathe. You want your neck to be comfortable. All of these poses, everything that we're doing today is all about being comfortable. So take lots and lots of wiggles. Feel free to adjust with whatever position. This is a version of crocodile. We do this a lot in our classes. So laying face down with your one hand on top of another and forehead down. You can just do that also. With this pose, because we're trying to restore and be as comfortable as possible, I'm going to put something underneath her feet so that her feet are more comfortable. And then, of course, we're going to use a blanket. So as you bring the blanket on you, begin to feel the weight of the blanket. So connecting with the weight of the blanket. If you can find a really heavy blanket, the heavier the better. Trying to feel as if the blanket is helping draw you down, assisting gravity, bringing you down into the ground. And then just start to arrive in this pose. You're face down, it's a little compressive. A lot can come up, and that's part of the process. You feel stifled or stressed or anxious or any of these things that might come up in this pose. Don't force yourself through any discomfort, but just notice if you feel mild discomfort and see if you can breathe into it. Notice where it is and perhaps notice what it is. So starting to let go. Starting to arrive on the mat. We're going to bring a lot of focus into the shoulders. So I'm going to sit here so we can help. Okay. So really focusing on the top of the shoulders. Releasing down into the ground. Trying to take the muscular action out of the shoulders and the upper back. And then starting to bring the softness down into the low back. See if you can soften a little more around the ankles. Bring attention to the palms of your hands. See if you can soften around the palms of your hands. And then begin to bring your focus into your breath. See if there's any stress or tension or muscular force around your breath, and see if you can just start to soften your breath. Slowing it down just with intention. We're going to kind of move through, moving energy and softness through our body in different ways, in different poses. So we're going to bring our attention to the crown of our head. Imagine that you can start to bring a softness to the crown of your head. Almost as if your crown of your head is softening and opening. I'm going to start to imagine that you could draw in energy through the crown of your head. So perhaps imagining that you're kind of surrounded in this little bubble of energy, and this bubble of energy contains precisely what you need in this moment. And from the crown of your head, you're going to begin to draw down, in through the crown of your head, down through your spine, slowly trickling down. Recharging the spine. Almost as if with a little intention, you're beginning to allow a little more space around each vertebrae. Gently and slowly drawing that fresh energy down the spine, all the way to the tailbone. And then when you get to the tailbone, connect with that little bit of pressure on your front side of your hips. And then imagine softening and opening across the back of your hips. Almost as if you could tell yourself that the front of your hips are grounded, and that for this moment, all of the muscles across your lower back can soften and release. Your body is supported by the ground. There's no work for your muscles to do across your low back. And perhaps thinking of that energy that you're drawing down through the spine is slowly spreading across the hips, softening and releasing tension. And if it helps, you can get this energy that you're visualizing in color or texture. Maybe temperature, maybe it's cooling and renewing, maybe it's warm and soft. And then begin to allow that softness to start to slowly trickle down the back of your legs. Sending softness down the back of the legs. Bringing softness into the back of the knees. Slowly bring that softness down into the ankles. And then bring that softness into the soles of the feet. So imagine you could place this recharging energy right in the soles of your feet, and your feet could become so soft. Letting go of all of the tension in every muscle in the feet. As if you could be left with little squishy baby feet that have never taken a step. And take a few breaths, just really thinking that drawing in fresh energy through the crown of the head, down the spine, all the way to the soles of the feet. And then imagine sweeping away any tension left all the way back up and out through the crown of your head. Perhaps even connecting this to the rhythm of your breath, breathing in fresh all the way down to the toes, to the soles of the feet. And all the way back up, sweeping away tension and things no longer needed. And bring a little awareness to the palms of the hands and press the palms of the hands into the floor. You're going to slowly pressing into the hands, engage the stomach, send the hips backwards so you find yourself in a soft child's pose. Just moving very slowly and mindfully through any transitions. Take a moment just to ground in child's. On the right, we come to our backs. So finding your way onto your back. You're going to lay down. So, if you have a pillow, you're going to put the pillow underneath the legs. If you have a chair, you can put your legs up on the chair. If you have lots of pillows, you can do this trick with your legs up and get them up a little higher. Tuck in. Take your time to get comfy, tucking in. So settling in so that your back is open, taking your time. Does that feel better? So taking your time to land on the ground and checking in on your spine. So when you're flat on the ground with your back, be mindful of some of the things that we can do without noticing. So trying not to overly flatten our back to the ground. Try to allow the natural curves to happen. Maybe taking a little wiggle and adjust of the hips, checking in on the lower back, and taking an adjust of the neck. Try not to flatten the neck to the ground. Taking your time. So now we're going to connect with all of that grounding and support being on our back side. So now our back is grounded and supported, and our front side is a little more open, a little more vulnerable. We're going to breathe into that vulnerability and invite in softness by releasing into the ground more and more. So this time we're going to bring our awareness to the soles of our feet. We're going to imagine that we could plug the soles of our feet into this source of energy that's wrapped around us. And this source of energy, imagine it contains precisely what you need in this moment. And you don't need to cognitively understand what that is. Just imagine that it's a recharging energy source. Allow it to have a color, temperature. And then imagine you can plug the soles of your feet into this energy source. And again, the soles of your feet are becoming softer and softer. And this time the front of your feet. Think about the front of your feet, the tops of your feet. And you allow the skin on the top of your feet to soften and melt and release. Bring softness to the front of your ankles. And thinking about your shins, the front of your lower leg. Think about how hard it is to stretch and move any part of our front of our leg. Can you bring a little softness to the muscles here? And then we're going to place our awareness right in the knees. So imagine you could place little soft pockets of warm space in the knee joint, allowing more softness and space inside the knee, letting go of any tension. Imagine you could softly undo the effects of every trip and fall. And soften over the kneecap. And perhaps imagining the soft swirling of energy in behind the kneecap, like a little soft moving circular ball, sweeping away any tension. And imagine you could find the bone in your thigh, each thigh, and circle around it slowly, sending your awareness all the way around the thigh bone, all the way up to the hips. And imagine this soft, swirling energy could soften all the muscles, all the tension, all the holding patterns in your thighs. And then land in your hips, right inside the joint. And again, just as we did with the knee, imagine softness and space. Imagine you could undo time. Imagine that your hips could move more freely, and the muscles around your hips, supporting your hips, feel less tense. Begin to connect very deeply with the support behind your hips. Can you soften a little more into the ground, allowing the ground to really carry you and support you? And then find all the muscles across the front of the hips. And imagine you could tell each muscle one by one that all of the work is done. You can soften and take a break to release into the ground. And then thinking about all of the space between the hips and the rib cage. So many organs and muscles in this space. Can you allow a little more softness in this space? Checking for any gripping. Imagine you could allow more space for your digestion, more space for all of your organs to move freely and function healthy. And find the back of your ribcage supported on the ground. And melt your ribcage and maybe even your shoulder blades a little more into the ground. And then imagine you could draw that softness up your torso, making space in underneath the ribs for your lungs. And for all your other organs in this space in your torso. You don't have to take an anatomy lesson to be able to tune into your body and find all the places that are talking to you. Just gently sending your awareness around each space. Being open to listen, open to feel, open to experience how your body is in this moment. Can you allow your shoulders to sink a little more heavily into the support below you? Can you allow your neck to soften a little more? Muscles around your jaw and your mouth. You soften your temples a little more. And then we'll connect back in with that energy source at our feet, and imagine we're drawing it from our feet all the way up our legs, up our spine, drawing it fresh from our feet and going up to the crown of our head, and this time all the way back, sweeping away tension. You can connect this with your breath, or you can just imagine a path running up and running down, an energetic highway. Maybe it just has a color. Imagination is a powerful tool. Imagine this energy moving freely, free of holding patterns and scars and tension. Moving freely from the soles of your feet all the way up to the crown of your head and then all the way back down. Delivering fresh energy as if it could greet every cell in your body one by one. And sweeping away things no longer needed. And bring your awareness to the palms of your hands. Notice if there's any gripping here. You soften your fingers. And now think about our energetic layer of our body. We have a measurable energetic layer of our body. the easiest ways to connect with is with the palms of our hands. So really placing your awareness in the palms of your hands, and the more that you place your awareness here, and you begin to feel sensation, as if there's a little buzzing just above the skin. If you struggle with this concept, another thing you can do is place crystals or rocks in your hands. And think about the fact that when you place them in your hands, the temperature of the rock changes. So maybe imagining you have little rocks in your hands right now, and you're warming the rocks with your hands. Connect to that energetic source. And then we're going to think about moving that energy. So you imagine bringing the energy from the right palm of the hand slowly up the right arm, across the chest, down the left arm, and out through the left palm of the hand. In through the right, up the right arm, across the chest, out through the left palm of the hand. You can give your energy a temperature, a texture, a color, but just connect with this path of energy moving freely. Fresh, recharging energy moving from one hand to the other. And gently see if you can switch the direction of your energy path, bringing in energy through the palm of the left hand, drawing it up the left arm, across the chest, and down the right arm, and up the palm of the right hand. gently let that soften away. And notice any sensation in the upper body, in the palms of the hands. And bring your awareness right to the heart center, the very center of the chest. Take a moment to think about the fact that your back, the back of your heart, is supported. One of my favorite teachers likes to say that we cannot live with an open heart. We don't have our own backs. She likes to do lots of back strengthening exercises to make us feel strong, so that we can feel open. And with the mistakes that we make, when we're thinking about living with an open heart, it means that we can walk around with an open heart believing nothing will ever go wrong. And that living with an open heart means that we can just be taken advantage of. But for me, the concept of living with an open heart is not to believe that nothing will ever go wrong, but to know that I will be okay when things go wrong, and that I can connect back within to my heart center. Mend and heal and begin again without building up the walls of battle around my heart. So really taking a moment to feel your physical body grounded on the ground, firm on the ground, supported. Perhaps connecting with the weight of the blanket, drawing you down, supporting you from above. And focusing in again on the heart center. And from here, perhaps a little green light, a little flame, a flicker. Or if you would like, bring to mind a memory that you felt particularly connected to. Perhaps a scene in nature that just took your breath away, and every time you think of it, your heart, your center warms. Maybe a time a baby giggled, and you giggled right back, despite anything else going on in your life. Or perhaps a time when a puppy greeted you at the door and you fell to your knees and greeted the puppy right back. Those connected moments, those unconditional love connected moments, they have a physical sensation. They're not just an experience, they have a sensation in our body, and we can connect to that. When you have that sensation, when you can find that physical sensation, focus in on that sensation and allow it to soften and open and gently spread. As if you could allow this unconditional love sensation to soften from the heart and slowly touch every cell in your body. Opening and expanding from the heart center slowly and softly. this softness trickle all the way down to the tips of the toes. All the way down to the tips of the fingertips. Trickling up towards the crown of the head, across the face, down the back of the neck. Allowing unconditional love and acceptance to spread throughout your entire body. And gently walk your awareness from the heart space as if you're walking up a staircase from your heart, up your spine, and land at the top of your spine, in the center of your mind, as if you could open up a room, open a door, and walk into your own mind. Imagine your mind and your thoughts and experiences are in this room. Imagine you could close the door, take a seat in the center, and just witness what is here. As if your mind is a museum or an art show, you're just going to sit here and observe. And just as if you were an art show, there are things that you find that you like more than others. Perhaps some things that confuse you. And just notice. Notice perhaps a constant stream of distraction and thought. Imagine that stream of distraction is a little bit further up. And the stream of distraction is on the ceiling of your wall, and you're sitting on the floor. Slightly below, and you can look up and observe. And rather than being caught and bashed about by the waves of the thoughts and distractions, you can look from afar and just watch. Can you see them without judgment and labeling and worrying about right or wrong? Perhaps beginning to understand some of these thoughts is just firing neurons in our brain. You don't need to understand them or comprehend them. Some of them just fire. Maybe your mind room has some paintings on the wall, beautiful nature scenes. It can be places you've been to, or places that you've seen that you wish you could go to. Maybe you find one in particular that catches your attention. And bring your awareness to this scene and begin to paint in the details so vividly that you can almost imagine being there at this place right now. maybe you can begin to imagine the sounds of the place, the smells. Is it a sunny day or a winter's day? You need to connect with how beautiful this scene is. And bring to mind sharing this scene with somebody. Maybe a younger version of yourself or even an older version of yourself. Someone you feel very tenderly towards. Or it can be a complete stranger, but imagine you're sharing this space and that as you share this space, it becomes more beautiful by this shared experience. And gently bring yourself back to your mind room. And see if you can just greet yourself where you're at without judgment. Notice what is present here. Allow space for whatever is present here to be here. Connecting one more time with the physical sensation of being supported on the ground. Feeling as if the weight of gravity is really drawing you down, pulling down towards the ground. All of your muscles can switch off and be so soft. And into our final pose. So if you feel particularly connected to this pose and you don't want to move or shuffle around, feel free to stay where you're at. Otherwise, you're going to bring some movements to the fingers and the toes, very slowly and softly. Bringing yourself bringing me in at a time towards the chest. Curling up in a little ball, and we're going to go over to a fetal position. So curling up in a little ball, but this time a restorative fetal. So we're going to hold a bolster or pillow, whatever you have. So you want to try and get some connection with this bolster onto the stomach, maybe even bringing it in between the legs. Taking your time to get super comfortable, maybe bringing something behind you as extra support. So we've moved into the fetal position, connecting with this pose. You have to move into this pose because it feels protective. So with the extra protection of something you can feel around your chest and stomach, maybe even something you can feel on your back, it's very protected and wrapped up. And we can travel back to a time when our needs were met, time in the womb, where we had not judged ourselves as negative or positive, or just a little spark of life. Imagine peeling away all the layers. So the layers of our job title, our position in our family, whether you're born male or female. All these layers that are being placed on us as we grow. Imagine you could peel them away for a moment, not forever. Just peeling them away and connecting to the source within, the spark within, the important part that makes us who we are. It's not the way we look. It's not the things we've done or the things that have happened to us. It's that little spark within. Imagine you can soften away all of the layers and just allow that little spark to shine through. I have 2 readings for today. I am free from Louise Hay. I affirm the following. I am pure spirit and light and energy. I see myself as being free. I am free in my mind. I am free in my emotions. I am free in my relationships. I am free in my body. I am free in my life. I allow myself to connect to that part of me that is pure spirit and totally free. I release all of my limitations and my human mind fears. I no longer feel stuck. I realize that I am far more than my personality, my problems, or my disease. The more I connect with this part of me, the more I can be free in every area of my life. The part of me that is pure spirit knows how to lead me and guide me in ways that are very beneficial. I trust the spirit part of me and know that it is safe for me to be free. I am free in my love for myself. I let that love for myself flow as freely as possible. It is safe to be free. I am spirit and I am free. My second reading for today is from the reading of Sutras. Wherever your heart journeys, on whatever expedition, in your outer life and secret inner realms, breathe in intimacy with infinity. Where can you go to avoid the one in whom all exists? Reach down into your deepest being and take a stand in eternity. Walk through this world, see every situation as an expansion of the mystery. Savor the tremble of recognition. The bliss in you is touching the bliss out there. Can you imagine that you're still wrapped in that bubble of energy of protection? Taking a few more moments to feel wrapped up and protected and grounded. Perhaps take a few moments to bring to mind somebody else that you think might need to be wrapped in a bubble of protection right now. And from this strongly grounded bubble of protection that you're resting in, imagine sending it out to this person. Maybe visualizing, seeing them in front of you and wrapping them in this bubble of protection and warmth and love and kindness. Perhaps wrapping them in some unconditional love, some acceptance. Maybe seeing them receive this, see their body language change, see their facial expression change. And very slowly, taking a moment to begin to feel your body on the ground, returning to the present moment in time. If you need to stay here longer, go ahead and stay here longer. Pause the video. Just hang out. Coming up on an hour, so if you have something you need to do, kind of start to feel the ground and move on out of this position. And pressing one hand into the ground slowly, and with as much softness as possible. Bring yourself back to a seated position. Connect with your hands of prayer at your heart space. So before going back out into your regular scheduled life, taking a moment to sit, to send yourself a little gratitude, to connect with your left and right sides meeting in front of your heart, and accepting yourself as whole and complete, precisely as you are. And may we know love, light, and connection. Thanks so much for watching. Staying there forever.